What is happening, everybody? I hope you're all having a wonderful day, and welcome back to Dragon Age 2. I got my coffee here, and we are ready to talk to Merril. So going into our quests, we really don't have much left to do. We have one companion quest here, and then it's full speed ahead on the main plot. So we finished Varric, we finished Isabella, we finished Anders, we're about to finish Merril. And since we haven't used the other companions enough to get their approval ratings high or low to rival or friend, we won't even be getting that main quest. So this is probably going to be the final companion quest before we just push on with the main narrative. So without further ado, let's see what Merril has for us.
Lethaline, I need to ask you for a favor. I thought the Arulin'holm would be the last thing I needed, but the Eluvian still won't work. I think I have to go back to the spirit that helped me at the start of all this.
If you keep calling it a spirit, it won't change what it is, Merril. You know that, right?
Why do you think this demon will help?
He knows about the mirror. I don't know how much. He won't tell me everything, and it's dangerous to trust. He said he witnessed its forging. He told me how to cleanse it of its corruption. He must know how to make it work.
You know, understand that as much as she does. Like, she knows it's dangerous to trust, but she's just following along the path anyways, just assuming that because she's a little concerned about it, that'll be enough to stem the tide. She should know better than this, and I thought it was important to actually show this quest in its own episode, because this is a great example of consequences.
What do you mean it doesn't work?
Well, look at it. Do you think it's supposed to just sit there and show nothing at all? I can feel the power in it, but it's like it's asleep. I can't seem to wake it.
Summoning a demon can't possibly be the only way to fix the mirror. Someone else must know something.
The Eluvian was lost before Arlathan fell. The only creatures who would know anything about it are in the Fade.
Not entirely
I called to
true.
the spirit, but he doesn't seem to hear. He was sealed in an artifact on Sundermount. I have to look for him there. But if things go wrong, if he possesses me, I need you to strike me down.
Are you insane? Is the most valid voice line for this ever. Like, what are you doing? You're already thinking about dying for it. There's a demon stuck and trapped away in an artifact in like a secret mountaintop where your entire Dalish clan is, and you just want to go fuck with that to restore a mirror that you don't have any actual use for. Because the mirrors are portals to the crossroads. She doesn't know that, but that's what it is. So this could literally just be some piece of shit mirror, as far as she knows, that maybe lets you like mirror, mirror on the wall kind of thing. She doesn't even know what it's for. And even if she did get it, most mirrors are only pair bonded to another mirror. And if the other mirror is broken, then this one would be useless. They don't all go to the crossroads. You have to tinker with it for that to happen, which is how Morrigan ends up in the crossroads, etc. You have to tinkle with them. So this mirror could be complete garbage to her, and she's willing to put so much on the table for the pursuit of knowledge here.
You would risk becoming an abomination for this mirror. How is it worth that?
If it brings back this artifact of the Elven, if it gives us even one piece of our history, it's worth any risk.
I don't agree,
There's no one
Merril.
else I trust. Lethaline, please, come with me. I don't want anything bad to happen.
Well, this seems like a great compromise. Make her talk to the Keeper first, right?
Go to Marethari. Maybe there's an alternative to summoning the demon.
The Keeper would never help me. Why do you think I had to find the demon in the first place? The whole clan has moved on by now anyway. You'll never find her.
Merril, have you ever stopped to
Hell,
consider
6 years in this place and I still can't fix
that maybe the reason why Marethari would under no circumstances help you with that is maybe a giant red flag? Because she gave you the Arulin'holm when you performed the ritual, and she willingly sent you with us because you wanted to. She's clearly not the kind of woman that is just like, hey, fuck it, I'm just out of spite, I'm just not gonna give you what you want. She's clearly not that kind of woman, so it should be popping up all kinds of red flags for Merril here, that under no circumstances will she help with that. And I haven't really had much of a chance to talk about it, but I really, really love the Champion's armor set here. The way the leather pops with the chainmail and the like that raw iron kind of aesthetic, that beaten metal. I really like the way that this armor set looks. Obviously, it'll be way better once we get the helmet too, but I love it. And I like how you can notice right away too the little tip that Dark Souls does, for example. And I think this game is doing it here, looking at this, where the armor is a higher resolution in the back of the set. Because you're not going to be running around the world like this. You're going to be running around the world like this. And so the chainmail and all this stuff, you see how it looks better on the back? That's because it's a higher resolution texture on the back side of the gear. Because that's what you stare at the most. That's what FromSoft does in Dark Souls and Elden Ring and things like that. That's a trick they've done for years. Is the back of the sets are always higher resolution. Because that's what you stare at the whole time. Well, Merril, Marethari and your people did in fact not move on.
Sundermount is cursed. Can't you talk to the
Careful,
keeper?
young Shem.
I
The
tried.
Dalish are not your
She's
people.
made up her mind.
Not all of us want you here.
We've been here too long. Mythal protect us.
Where is your keeper?
Taken on a heavy burden, Hawke. May the creators watch over you.
Well, she was just talking over there about how Marethari's already made her mind up, so they're not going anywhere. Which doesn't make me exactly enthusiastic. Again, this is the Dalish clan from Dragon Age Origins too, so I definitely have investment in this place. Actually sold something I didn't mean to there, I think. Yeah, we'll take that back. Got a lot of stuff to drop. Mainly just trying to make room. I mean, we have almost 300 sovereigns, but just nothing to spend it on, so... That's why it's built up to that point. Ordinarily, if I was running into any kind of uniques or cool things, I'd just stop buying it up at this point, but there really isn't any. I mean, here's Marethari. Yeah, I've been through like every vendor, I've been through the Black Emporium, and maybe it's because I have the DLC, which gives me things like this sword. So everything in the actual game itself is just really underwhelming in comparison. Maybe that's why I feel like I haven't really ran into much to buy. Outside of skill book boosts and stuff like that, there really hasn't been much point.
Welcome home, darling.
This isn't a homecoming, Keeper. Why is the clan even here? You should have moved on ages ago.
The clan still has business here, darling. We will leave when it is time.
It was time 3 years ago. You can't stay here. Eventually, the humans will force you to leave.
There are plenty of hiding places in these mountains. We will stay until my business is done. If you are not returning to us, what has brought you back?
And what exactly is your business? Because as far as I knew, her business was to get the amulet from Hawke, the Flemeth, and she's been done that.
If one of the Dalish becomes an abomination, what do you do?
If you are hoping the Dalish hold miracles, child, I'm afraid you will be disappointed. Even if the demon is driven out, the soul is left scarred. It can never recover, not truly. Like a wounded animal, it will fall prey to scavengers. The only cure is death.
Your first is going to summon a demon to get advice about her mirror.
Did you really have to say it that way?
What, the way that it
I've
is?
already done everything in my power to stop this, and some things that were beyond my strength. I had rather hoped you might succeed where I failed. I'll do what I can to buy you time. Talk to her. Save her from this.
Buying us time.
I hate to say it, but my ancestors were not thinking clearly when they decided to bury people on top of a mountain.
Well, this isn't going well, and even now, Merril still just willing to press on with this to the bitter end.
Are you sure you want to do this, kid?
Not even a tiny bit.
Then why are we doing this?
Not too late to go back, you know.
I have to finish this. I've sacrificed too much just to walk away.
Ends justifying the means kind of bullshit logic where I've given up so much already that if I don't continue, it'll all be for naught. Well, perhaps something that you have to sacrifice so much for to begin with is maybe not something that's good for you. I would say if you have to give up so much that there's just no point of return for you under any circumstance, then maybe you've picked a course of action that's not right for you, because friction is normal, but if you have so much friction that you gotta damn it all, your history, your culture, your family, your friends, you gotta give up your position in life, literally everything for something, then that's something just isn't for you, I think. Of course, she's damned herself to ride this train all the way to the final station. And we're obliged enough as her friend to spectate the crash. So at least if I'm here, whatever, when it goes wrong and people die, at least I can try and stop the bleeding, right? I'm basically just here as a tourniquet at this point, because I don't think this is gonna go well. I think Merril is getting gamed, and honestly, the Keeper is probably getting kind of gamed too. I think this is all a pretty predictable path of events that's about to unfold. And the reason why I didn't know at first if I was going to have this outcome to this quest, but I think it's important to show the consequences of blood magic and messing with demons, because Anders has spent so much time in this game saying that blood magic is like just what mages do and they're forced to do it, and how it's really not that big of a deal, and sometimes they just have no choice, and yada yada, etc, etc. But that's not true. And you're gonna see that sometimes mages, even the good ones, even ones that know better, like Merril, can fall to temptation, or because they need a certain task to be completed.
How far is the cave exactly?
It's beyond the graveyard.
It's not always Templars pushing people into corners about to chop their heads off.
Despite undead and giant bug-like things roaming this place.
No. The first time the Keeper went with me, we both heard the Spirit's call. She wanted to be sure the clan was safe. It was the second time I came here alone.
Yeah, sometimes they just need something or want something that forces them to fall to this kind of shit. And I also wanted to show how grave the consequences of falling to this kind of shit can be, so you understand a little more of the stakes of the mage issue as such, because sometimes when you have companions with a certain mindset like Anders, they can make it seem like it's not that big of a deal, you know? It's just... Even the game in general, not just the companions, but the game in general can make it kind of seem like it's not that big of a deal sometimes. And that the mages are just really hard done to. And if you didn't pay attention to things, it'd be quite simple to just think that, like, well, why does the circle even exist? Just get rid of it, it's not necessary. But when you see things like what's about to happen, and then when you read the Codex and you see how, like, a single abomination destroyed an entire castle-keeping city one time, you start to understand that the stakes are pretty fucking high, and if you have an abomination in a position of power, for example, or in a place beyond the reach of Templars, you could end up with an entire country, continent, even the whole world potentially could fall if the wrong person became an abomination, right? So there's definitely some stakes here. And keep in mind that blood magic gives you the ability to control everybody, so it's not like you would even be able to resist. If your king became a blood mage, or if your king became under the control of a blood mage, you would have no way to resist because they would be controlling everything. So that's that. You can't vote somebody out when everybody would vote for them anyway because they're possessed by blood magic. It's a very high stakes. Here's Philandris. And here's the idol that Merril thinks it's a grand idea to fuck with.
Something is wrong. This is where the spirit was bound. But now it feels empty.
Who bound this demon here and why?
There was a war long ago between my people and the Tevinter Imperium. After the Magisters sank Arlathan, my people made a last stand here, fighting on the graves of our elders. I don't know if it was the Elvenan or Tevinter who bound the spirit, but he was left here from the war.
Maybe he was in the war.
Maybe it freed itself.
It would have taken powerful magic to break him free of this prison. You couldn't just set him loose. Nobody could. Not without doing something terrible. This is very wrong.
And again, you know all that, and you came here to fuck with it anyway. And like, none of this is setting off alarm bells in her head. Like, oh, you couldn't just free him because you would have to do something so terrible to set him loose that it would be reprehensible. And not only that, she doesn't even know if this is put here by the Elvenan. This could be Tevinter blood mages that put this thing here just to kill people. She has no idea why or where or how, and willing to risk it all for it. It is very, very misguided.
It couldn't have just vanished. We'll track it down.
He shouldn't have been able to leave. What happened to him?
Yeah, we should find it.
Happened.
Keeper. What have you done?
The demon's plan was always for you to complete the mirror. It would have been a doorway out of this prison and into our world. You would have been his first victim. I couldn't let that happen, Dalen.
Yeah. You could have said something.
You didn't think to mention that the demon was gone before we hiked all the way up here.
It's not gone. I couldn't fight it in the Fade while it was trapped. And I couldn't banish it without making it stronger. So, I made myself its prison. Kill me, and it dies too. Merril will finally be safe.
No! You can't ask that. I won't do this.
You always knew your blood magic had a price, Dalen. I have chosen to pay it for you. Dareth Shira.
Consequences.
Traitor!
And this would have been Merril.
Hunt you for the rest of your days.
If she didn't do what she did, then that would have been Merril paying this price.
Why did you have to come back and destroy it?
I will still destroy you.
You're welcome to try. A little beefy sometimes, huh? Come on.
Dalen,
Keeper.
you've beaten it, Dalen. You are so much stronger than I imagined. The demon is dead.
No, the demon is just dropping a panic button.
Let's leave this awful place. The clan should hear the good news.
Yeah, I listened to your words carefully, and you said them very intentionally.
You told us that the demon was bound to your life. It would only die with you.
Irabalas, Keeper.
I think we could have totally gone along with that and let this thing out.
Keeper!
This is what happens, Merril.
What have you done? I don't want this. I never wanted this. Creators, please let this be a bad dream.
This is what happens when you fuck with this
I'll
stuff.
wake up and feel like an idiot and she'll scold me for not listening.
You weren't listening.
You knew consorting with demons was dangerous. You knew people could get hurt, and you did it anyway.
If there was a price to pay, I should have paid it. She had no right to interfere.
Well, that's what happens when people care about you, Merril. They do things for you. All of these are true. 1, that's not up to her. 2, she was being fucking nuts. 3, the Keeper did love her. And 4, this very easily could have been her, that I would have had to cut her fucking head off because she decided to let that into her so she can fix a mirror. 4 things.
She loved you, Merril. She wanted to protect you.
Everybody here wants to protect you.
Why couldn't she have believed in me?
That was the noblest thing I've ever seen anyone do. The world is poorer for having you in it instead of her.
I don't know what to do now.
That's quite scathing, Anders.
I should go to the clan.
Your own situation,
Someone
considering.
needs to know. Needs to come and take care of her.
Well, I don't think they'll be very happy to see you, Merril. Gotta be honest. Yeah. She can say that she had no right to take the responsibility for this, but of course, I mean, she's her first, right? It's like a daughter to her. You wouldn't just let your child do a fucking, like, blood pact and sell their soul. And Merril wouldn't be strong enough to resist that thing like she was.
We know the Keeper came here. What's going on? Where is she?
Oh, Jesus.
Fenril. The Keeper. She...
Look at her, Fenril. She's covered in blood.
What have you done, Merril? Keeper? Can you hear me?
She's dead.
I should have guessed you'd turn on her, you monster.
Now, I can understand why they have that opinion. But, good God. Let's not have this get any worse than this already is. I can take responsibility for this. I did help her, but... I really don't want to have to fight the whole Dalish clan from Dragon Age Origins here if I can avoid it. Marethari was possessed. I'm not just going to tell them to piss off, but I can try and take responsibility for this and just take her away.
This was a tragedy. I promise you, I'll make sure no one else is hurt by Merril's blood magic.
You expect us to take the word of a Shemlin?
Stand down, Aneria. She was our first once. The Keeper loved her. More than she loved the clan, it seems.
Fenril, I'm sorry. I never wanted this. If I could have saved her, if I could have died instead, I would have.
What if nobody died,
Words are
Merril?
cheap. That you're still breathing says enough.
Enough, Aneria. Human, take Merril away from here.
Yeah, what if nobody died, Merril? What if you didn't die? What if she didn't die? What if nobody died? What if you just stopped being so fucking stupid about this whole situation and everybody went home happy? How about that? The whole like, well, I wish I died instead?
If you weren't here, Hawke, they'd kill me.
Yeah, they would. Honestly, in a different life, I would too. I think that sounds harsh, but the fact of the matter. In an alternate universe where I don't know who she is, and I don't know the background of why she did what she did, I'd vote for her ass to die too.
You've taken on a heavy burden, Hawke. May the creators watch over you.
Let's just leave these people to move on like they want to. I don't think there's anything more to be said or be done here. I think we've done enough. And you can avoid coming back here and having this happen by just telling her to get her shit together, but I really wanted to show the consequences of all that. All for a mirror, too. He became...
did not deserve that death.
I would agree.
It was my risk to take. I never asked her to do this for me.
She knew you didn't have the strength to resist the demon. That's why it picked you.
Why are you doing this?
He's
What can I
right.
do about it now?
Make up for your mistakes. Most blood mages never get a second chance.
The irony in what he's saying, given what's coming next, but... he's not wrong, at least in the sentiment of what he said. And she can just say, like, oh, well, I never asked for that, but she put her keeper in a situation where she didn't have a choice. Her keeper either had to let her first become an abomination and just accept that, or take her place. It's math numbers, right? Marethari was old and almost done in general herself anyways. And, well, Merril is young and she had a second chance at a better life. And so, the keeper decided to give her a chance. That's all anyone can ask for in those situations, really. And that can go even worse than we had it go. If you don't tell the Dalish that you take responsibility, if you just say the keeper was possessed and the other one where this is a tragedy or whatever, you'll have to slaughter the entire Dalish clan. Like, you'll wipe out the whole clan from Origins. They'll all be dead. And then Merril has to sit and think about that for the rest of her days too. But fortunately we avoided that. She's just been banished and disowned, so I guess she's a Kirkwall mage for life now. Thankfully at least she's friends with Hawke, so there's a little bit of a guideline cushion there. Anyways, now that we've somewhat averted disaster, I think that's a pretty good place to wrap up before we hop on into the main quest next time. So thank you for watching, everybody. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe, leave a like and a comment. If you want to support the cause and help improve the channel, please do check out my Patreon, linked in the description below. Otherwise, stay tuned, and I'll see you soon with more Dragon Age 2. Take care, everybody. Have a great day. Ciao.